Will I ever find my mate? Chapter 1. A new beginning. Lena Winters stepped off the bus, her boots crunching against the gravel of Evergreen College's parking lot. The crisp autumn air smelled of pine trees, damp earth, and the faintest hint of something she couldn't quite place, something wild. It was her first day on campus, and though the university was renowned for its picturesque surroundings, there was an unsettling feeling hanging over the place. A quiet whisper that no one seemed to notice but her. She had spent her whole life feeling like an outsider. Raised in the city, she never quite fit in with her peers, always feeling as if there was something more to her. A deep, unknown longing, something primal, something different, but she'd never been able to identify it. Now, as she stared at the towering trees and the sprawling campus ahead of her, that strange feeling had only grown stronger. "Freshman," a voice interrupted her thoughts. Lena looked up and met the gaze of a tall, broad-shouldered student. His intense green eyes locked onto hers, and for a moment, time seemed to slow. He had dark, tousled hair and a quiet confidence about him that made her stomach flutter with an unfamiliar unease. "Yeah, I'm new," she replied, pulling herself from the trance. The guy gave a small smirk. "Jaxon Blackwood, welcome to Evergreen." Lena nodded, distracted by his piercing gaze. There was something magnetic about him. She brushed it off as mere curiosity and turned to head toward the dorms. Chapter 2. Strange Dreams. Over the next few weeks, Lena's college life settled into a routine. She found herself immersed in classes, meeting new people, and navigating the social waters of her first year. Yet every time she walked across the campus or sat in the library, she felt as though eyes were on her. Jaxon's eyes. It wasn't just him, though. She couldn't shake the feeling that something more was at play. Strange dreams plagued her at night. In these dreams, she was running through a dark forest. Her body shifted, fur sprouting along her limbs, and a powerful wolf emerged. She could feel the wind against her fur, the thrill of the hunt, the sharpness of her senses. Each time she woke, she felt both exhilarated and confused. Why these dreams? And why had she never felt this way before? Was there something about her that she didn't understand? Chapter 3. The Library Encounter. One chilly evening, Lena found herself in the library, the soft glow of the lamps casting long shadows over the bookshelves. She had stayed late to finish an assignment when, out of the corner of her eye, she saw him, Jaxon Blackwood. He was leaning against a bookshelf, his posture relaxed yet watchful, as if waiting for something or someone. His presence seemed to fill the room, even in the quiet hum of the library. When he saw her, his lips curled into a faint smile. "Lena," he said, his voice a low murmur. "I thought I'd find you here." Lena's heart skipped a beat. She tried to ignore the way his gaze seemed to reach straight through her. "I didn't know you studied here. I don't just looking for something. Or someone." His words held an underlying meaning that made her uneasy. Before she could respond, "Jaxon." Expression shifted. He stepped closer, his eyes darkening. His voice now urgent. "Listen to me, Lena. You need to come with me. It's important." Confused and a little alarmed, she followed him outside. They made their way to the edge of the campus, the shadows of the trees stretching long across the ground. Chapter 4. The Truth Unveiled. Once they reached the forest edge, Jaxon stopped and turned to face her. "Lena, there's something I need to tell you, something about you. About me, about everything." Lena's pulse quickened. "What are you talking about? I don't understand." "You're one of us," he said, his voice tinged with urgency. "A shifter. A werewolf." Lena's breath caught in her throat. She couldn't breathe. She shook her head, disbelieving. "No, that's impossible. I'm human." Jaxon reached out, his large hand gently taking hers. "You're not just human, you're part of an ancient bloodline. And you're not alone, you've been chosen, Lena." Before she could respond, the world around her seemed to shift. The ground beneath her feet grew warmer, and her body surged with energy she couldn't control. Her senses sharpened. She could hear the distant rustle of leaves, the beating of a far-off heart. The overwhelming urge to shift into her wolf form flooded her mind. "No," she whispered, her body trembling. "I can't. I'm not ready. You don't have to be ready. You just have to trust it." And with that it happened. Her body morphed, muscles growing, bones reshaping as fur sprouted along her skin. Her transformation was swift, exhilarating. She was no longer just Lena Winters. She was a wolf. Jaxon stepped back, his eyes filled with awe. "There it is. The real you." Lena stood there in disbelief, looking down at her new form, feeling the rush of power and freedom. She hadn't known what she was missing, but now, it was all so clear. Chapter 5, The Mate Connection. Days passed, and as Lena came to terms with her transformation, something else began to stir within her, a deep, undeniable pull toward Jaxon. It was more than attraction, it was a bond, a connection that only grew stronger the more time they spent together. "Lena, you need to understand something," Jaxon said one evening as they walked through the woods. "As a shifter, you have a mate, a soul bond. That bond is destined to happen, and when it does, you'll feel it. You'll know who your mate is." Lena turned to him, her heart racing. "And you think I'm supposed to believe that? That I have a mate?" Jackson's eyes darkened, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'm your mate, Lena. You've always been mine." Lena froze, the weight of his words crashing over her. It was impossible to deny the feelings swirling inside her, but fear held her back. What if she couldn't accept it? What if this bond meant losing herself? Chapter 6, Confronting the Rival Pack. Just when Lena began to accept her new life and the connection with Jaxon, trouble came in the form of a rival pack. A rogue group of werewolves, led by a ruthless alpha, began to terrorize the outskirts of campus, testing the Blackwood pack's territory. One fateful night, Lena and Jaxon found themselves at the center of a violent confrontation. Lena's instincts kicked in, her wolf pushing forward to protect Jaxon. She fought alongside him, her newfound powers finally making sense. In the heat of battle, she realized the true extent of the bond between them, how their wolves reacted as one, how their hearts beat in unison. The rival pack was defeated, and Lena's fears about her place in this world melted away. Chapter 7, Accepting the Mate. In the aftermath of the battle, Lena and Jaxon stood together beneath the full moon, their wolves at peace. "You found your place, Lena," Jaxon said softly, "and so have I. We're meant to be together." Lena looked at him, a smile tugging at her lips. "I didn't believe it at first, but now, I can't imagine being anywhere else." Jaxon smiled, his eyes softening. "You've always been my mate. I just had to wait for you to find me." And with that, Lena embraced her true nature. She was a werewolf, a part of this hidden world, and with Jaxon by her side, she would never be alone again. Epilogue: they're ever together. Months passed, and Lena found her rhythm in the new life she'd discovered. She walked across the campus with confidence, her bond with Jaxon as unbreakable as the ground beneath her feet. The two of them, mates, wolves, and partners, faced the future together, ready for whatever challenges awaited them. In the end, Lena realized the answer to the question that had haunted her. Yes, she had found her mate, and she would never have to search again.